Okay.
Hey Manan, thank you so much for joining
Hi.
us today.
Hello.
Hey, welcome
My
to
pleasure.
H1B TV. Really appreciate you for accepting to be part of this project. Could you please tell
Absolutely.
us about you, where you started, and what is your background?
Sure. Hi, Bobby. Thank you so much for initiating this H1B channel. And I'm sure it's helping a number of people. Brief introduction about myself. I'm Manan Shah. I came to United States in 2007 to pursue my master's in exercise science. I had my bachelor's in India from Rajiv Gandhi University, Bangalore, in physiotherapy. And then I got my license for physical therapy in the United States in 2010. And since then, I started practicing in the state of New York as a physiotherapist. And during my physiotherapy practice, I think some patient wanted to continue some therapy at home. In H1B, I knew there were some genuine restrictions that you were not allowed to work on your own and like that. But I never came across some losing the patients, and it was very, very hurtful that I'm not able to help patients. And being a merchant community, Gujarati, always business-minded people. And when I was not able to start that. I started doing some research for the same, like how I can start my H1B side business. So I looked website. I contacted. I was in New York, so I contacted local Secretary of State agency, and I tried to find as much information online, and things were negative and positive. And there was no positive; there was negative and neutral. I read in some forums that risk takers are still doing a business. And I I said, okay, we'll see. Whatever happens will happen. In the worst case, they'll send me out of country. But I'm not gonna let this money go. And I just registered my company, PLLC. It's Professional Limited Liability Company, with the state of New York, and it took several months to understand the process. And I registered my company, and I just started seeing my patients. Everything worked well. I did not tell anybody, or I did not tell in any forum or anything that I'm doing it because I didn't want to get in trouble. And I made some decent extra $5,000 to $8,000 every year. Some months were $12,000, and it's not a number of dollars how much I was making, but that freedom which I was getting,
Absolutely.
I was happy, and I was able to help people. So this is where I was. I continued doing this side business for few years, and then in some Facebook forums, there were continuous discussion going on, and I started telling people that you can do it, and I've started doing it. I've been doing it from 2-3 years, and I was just looking for the response, what people have to say. And people were saying that you're not supposed to do it, you get in trouble. But some people still contacted me personally on Facebook and asked me that if I can teach you how to do it and how to do a side business on H1B. Uh, I explained it to them. Absolutely, I had no problem helping other people. And it's more and more time I was spending. More and more people were reaching out to me, and there was a time that I was getting 1 or 2 phone calls or messages a week, and I was talking for at least 1 hour to other people. And my wife was not happy that why I'm talking to unknown people for no reason. For 1 hour and explaining the same thing. So that again uh, remind me that so then what happened that I started put a YouTube video, and so I can, whoever I want to tell them, I can just tell them, just to direct them to the YouTube video. So this is how far, and after that I have several videos on YouTube. My videos goes back to 2015, and my recent one was 2019, when we had a public meeting in Irving, Texas. So it worked out pretty well. The original video has about 14,000 viewers, and this video has about 15,000 views. We have about 200 subscribers, but we have a good community. So this is where I am right now.
Absolutely, that's great. Really appreciate you going over all the details and being very specific with where you started. Thank you so much. It gives motivation to someone like us who are trying to, um, go through all these obstacles, which there are a bunch of information out there. And what we are trying to do at H1B TV is, it's not me telling you my opinion or giving a random perspective, right? It's you, Manan, who
Yes.
has walked the talk, and there is an attorney that's supporting us. There is a accountant that's supporting us. There is a financial planner. So we are bringing in the team together. So this platform will
Good. Good.
not only motivate them, but if you're on the juncture where you want to do it and you don't know how to do it, this team will support you, guide you through the process, and make things happen. And also,
Absolutely.
yeah,
That's true.
definitely, exactly. So opinions are on one side, and then people who have already traveled through the journey, right? That's where people can definitely relate to, and
Absolutely.
that's what pushes them
Absolutely.
over the edge to make things happen.
Absolutely. Yep.
I appreciate that. And the second question, Manan. So we understood where you started, what motivated you to, start your business as a side hustle. But then you have been getting inquiries, and then you started educating people, right? How is that going so far, and what are your best
Yes.
achievements so far?
Uh, I've been teaching people on a one-to-one basis, but more than that, because I teach people. Let's talk that part later. But let's see. I would like to dive in more in detail how it's possible and why it's possible,
Absolutely, yeah.
because I think that is more important. That
Sure.
is more important. So, I'm sorry to divert your question, but I think this is more important and helpful to the people. So, in H1B and H4 guidelines, when you look at it, there is nowhere it's mentioned that you are not supposed to do any business or you are not supposed to earn extra income. Um, it's a simple guidelines. It's written in English, plain English. It's not like any lawyer's language or any law language. Anybody can read it. Now, that's one thing. Now, when I asked the lawyer in Dallas radio that what is the reason you are not allowing us to start a business, so this was the answer of the lawyer. It's a very famous lawyer from Dallas, and he said that it's a common sense that you came to this country for H1B and you are not supposed to start any business. So their common sense is we are slave in this country and we are not supposed to do anything beyond 9 to 5 job. Now my common sense differ from this respective lawyer, and in that matter, all lawyers who are not letting us do it, that I am not a slave in this country. I have come to the free land. I have come to the free country. I will make more money, and if I make more money by maintaining my H1B or H4 status, and if I'm paying extra tax to the state IRS and the state tax, the social security tax extra, I don't think any governing body will have any problem.
Absolutely.
There is a Freedom of Information. There is a Freedom of Information Act in USA. That Freedom of Information Act, it's same like in India. Like we ask how much did Narendra Modi spend on traveling, or how much he spends on food. That is the same Freedom of Information Act is available with USCIS. So I wrote them a letter that what laws am I breaking by doing a side business. And if I make extra income on my H1B visa. I wrote them a letter in 2017 and it's 2019. I will share you the case number. And they do not have any answer. The response I get is due to the scope and scale of my question. They do not have any answer at this time. And they will have to contact other agencies. That letter is available on my system, which is free. So I will able to share you for
Yes, I have seen that.
some
I've got a
time.
link down below.
But okay, that's absolutely fine. You can share that with other people. I wrote the same letter to Department of Labor asking the question that what laws I'm breaking by doing a side business, and they said what H1B person does beyond 9 to 5 is they cannot control me, and H4 is absolutely outside the Department of Labor, so they cannot tell us what to do and what not to do. I asked the same question to Secretary of State, Legislative Department of the state, IRS. And no one has any problem that if I start a business and I make more money. The biggest misconception we have is active work versus passive work. That people, the most conservative answer or positive answer we can get in online forums or from lawyers, that you are allowed to work passively and you can be a passive investor and you cannot work actively. I will explain you how irrelevant it is. It's nowhere mentioned in IRS website or USCIS website or labor department. There is no definition of active work versus passive work. We are all educated people. Again, we can read English and we can read the guidelines, but it's absolutely, it has come from thin air. To my Indian uh, friends, or most of the H1B people I communicate are Indian, and I relate them that if we go back to the national language of India, if you ask any North Indian person what is the national language of India, most of them, they will say it's a Hindi. And if you ask the person from South India, and they will say it's not Hindi. But if you ask any North Indian, there is no, Hindi is not a national language. When people start debating on TV in late the first like 5, 7, 8, 10 years ago, and then we realized that in constitution it's nowhere written that Hindi is not a national language. The point I'm trying to bring is from last 20 years, we are carrying forward from generation to generation the misinformation that H1B is not allowed to open a business and H4 is not allowed to do anything. They are not allowed to open a business,
I
but
can't
there
agree
is
with you
no
more.
guidelines, no information. So this is the reason that when you make more money, you are paying more tax, and it doesn't conflict with your green card, or it doesn't conflict with your immigration status, or it doesn't conflict with your port of entry. So I think by if we had this information 20 years ago, we could have saved many H4 people's professional and personal life, because H1 people have job, but H4 people who uh, who were forced to stay at home, even though by suffering their career and profession. So I think we lost a huge amount of human resources with the misinformation and with the fear that something will happen. Well, there is no law or no guidelines is stopping us to do anything.
Absolutely, that's very much true.
That's
Thank you, Manan. Thanks for explaining those details. Would you like to add something more?
Add something more. What do you think? Well, why people are not starting a business? I will take
Absolutely, it's
some
a fear
questions
and it's a
from you.
misconception. And it's not just H1Bs, right? Even if I talk to a friend who's got a green card recently, he's been dabbling with this idea for so long, and then he's just waiting for his green card. It's just that he doesn't want any troubles, right? Meaning he doesn't want to go out on a vacation outside of the US just because he's worried of the stamping process. So the fear is, as you said, there is so much opinion out there. When we start researching, we even fear of going to the website, IRS website, USCIS website. We tend to get this more information more on Google, right, rather than going into the actual government agencies. So I think it's
websites. Yes.
What about the fear? And I spoke to the lawyer and I spoke to the accountant as well, and that they're absolutely supporting this idea. They're absolutely working on the business. It's more about what business do you want to do? Let us work through the logistics of it. Not just because you're on H1B, but just because it's another business, right? You want to evaluate all the risk assessment. So evaluate your business idea just like if it is irrespective of your H1B or GC, and then go from there. Your liability, your umbrella insurance, everything is covered. So that's what they're encouraging as well. Could you throw some light on H4 owning a business by themselves? How does that process work?
So how the process works is when you go to the Secretary of State website, they do not ask your immigration status. As long as you're a resident of that state, so As long as you live in that state for more than 6 months, you are considered a resident of that state according to the state guidelines. So it is USCIS. It is not a USCIS or IRS guidelines. It is a state guidelines. So you are allowed to open you can get a driving license because you're a resident in that state. The same way you are allowed to open a business because you live in that state. And you open a business in the state. And now when you go to the IRS website, you generate an EIN number. That's an employer identification number of your business. That's a social security number of your business.
Right.
So at that time also they do not ask your social security. They do not ask your immigration status. They do ask your social security number, and I will come back get on H4. If you are on H4 and if you have EAD, you will have a social security number. So you are covered on that part. But if you do not have a social security number and you are on H4, you can use your alternate identification number, that TN number or something like that. You get some code for your tax filing.
True.
So you can use that number. Now, why IRS is taking those numbers? Because IRS want to make sure there is no guidelines that why they are taking this number. It is absolutely not connected to your. Absolutely not connected to your immigration status. The closest reason I have figured out with my experience is IRS wants to make sure if how much one person is opening, how many companies. With my social security number, if I open 5 different companies, it's not illegal. But then IRS wants to know that what I'm doing with these companies, and that is the only reason I know that. IRS is asking your social security number when you generate an EIN number. So that's how H4 person. So H4 person has 2 documents now. One of Secretary of State and the second is IRS website. If they take these 2 documents and go to any local bank with their ID and passport, they will be allowed to open a business account. Business bank will not say that you are on H4 and you are not supposed to open a bank account. This is for the small business, like someone is a photographer or someone is a yoga studio, someone wants to start, or that kind of a business, or it be a tutoring. But I have trained many H4 people without EAD card to start their own Etsy business. I have one girl who has a like $20,000 to $25,000 business every year net income. She just make out of Etsy. She just bring clothes and garments from India and she just sell it on Etsy, and she's making a bank here. So I have like a few people who are on H4B whom I have trained without even EAD to start their business.
That's sweet. That helps so many people.
Again in H4. That's what I've been telling people, and that's what I have told in my video, that we lived in a misinformation from last 20 years, and looking at the current scenario, my priority date is 2013. I don't know if I will ever get a green card, so I cannot wait for another even 2 years to start my business. So I started 7-8 years ago already. So and I have trained so many people. So I have, if you have any question about it, please put in the comment question below, and I should be able to answer you most of your questions. And because I know in and out of this system now, I cannot say that I know everything about this H1B and H4 business, but I can proudly say that online or on social media marketing, I know more about this H1B and H4 business more than anyone I know. So if you have any question, please put it in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. I would like to add something. H1B can start a business. Everyone will be it's a breaking news. But why don't you analyze, and why don't you figure out that what is the reason that you are not able to start a business? You are educated people. We are educated people. Why you cannot figure out which line of the law book we are breaking? Forget about breaking the line. Which line even coming we are close to breaking? Like there is no mention that you are not supposed to do anything or you are not supposed to earn anything. There is no line in the law book we are even coming close to by starting a business, opening a business, working actively, and paying extra tax.
Absolutely.
So why we are worried? What we are worried about?
Absolutely, Manan. I 100% agree with you.
This I really wanted to.
True. True. You drove that
Yeah.
point home.
Another important information, and people ask me that if we want to partner with a green card or a citizen. If you partner with a green card, let's say you partner with a 50% to partner with a green card, that means you are just breaking law 50%, but you are breaking 50% law if it's wrong. So that means if you are a wet or you are half wet. So it doesn't make any sense that you partner with a green card or something like that. You do not need to worry about it. You do not need a green card or citizen as a partner. You can be 100% owner. You can be a director of your company. You can be 100% owner. You can be owner of a multiple company. You can go to your local community clerk and open a sole proprietorship in $20 and start your business within 2 hours. It is very simple process. It's a very business friendly country. You do not need to wait for days and weeks to start a business. If you're filing an LLC, it just takes 4 or 5 days, but most of the state has a express service where you can get the papers within a day or 2 days.
Absolutely.
So it's a very simple process to start a business.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Manan. So basically what we are advocating here is you do your business, get your business filed in your local state. Secretary of State is the website that you can visit for the state. File for your TIN, right? Wherever on the IRS website.
For EIN number, employer identification number, EIN
number. Yes. And if you don't have a business, you should already have a TIN number which you can associate it while you're requesting for your EIN. So as long as you file your taxes, we are not crossing any laws or breaking any laws here. So you should go run with that idea. That's what we are advocating, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you.
People ask me, I will add one more thing. People ask me, will it give any trouble for green card? Yes, you may need your tax return filed. You need to submit your last few years tax returns when you file a green card. But we have a letter from USCIS that we are not breaking any laws as of now of their information, best of their information. So under what circumstances and what guidelines they can reject your green card. And I feel green card is a myth. It's just a lollipop. They say that it's not coming anytime soon. That's what I feel. So we don't need to worry about it and start a business.
I like the wording.
Again, you are not breaking any laws.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do we exactly know why USCIS needs the tax returns while accepting your extension documents or a green card?
I'm not on green card. I have heard from people that you need to submit your tax returns. That's all information I have. I'm nowhere near as I said, my priority date is 2013, so I'm nowhere near my green card. So I have just the information that people have told me that they ask your tax returns, and you have to file your tax return of LLC or sole proprietorship along with your personal tax. You cannot file it separately. So we are not hiding from government that we are doing anything. What we are doing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Manan. Those are the 3 questions that I have for today. If you'd like to add anything.
Okay. I have clients from most of my 50%. So the clients, when I say that if you want out to me, I will give you my phone number. It's 646-401-4012. I have a channel and I have a YouTube video on it, and Bobby should be able to put a link. I have explained everything about the agencies, 5 different agencies. I have explained that what's legal and how I'm doing it a little more in detail. So you can go through that link. When I have put all the information out for free, I'm not holding anything. But still, some people want to talk to me. When some person wants to talk to me, it's my time away from my family. So I do personal consultation with people. That's all I'm doing, and but otherwise, all my information is out there. My clients they have for IT consultancies, photographers, yoga studios, online businesses, real estate businesses. Some of my clients, they have Airbnb studios. So people are doing multiple kind of businesses and come up with very interesting ideas. So if you have any kind of that idea and if you want to start a business, please go through my YouTube videos and I have all the information. If you have any question, feel free to comment under this video.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm sure people will reach out to you directly. We'll provide all the links, and then if they have any questions, please help them. And then we'll take this movement forward.
Absolutely.
We'll get together again soon, and then as and when we get this momentum, basically it's the mission of this H1B TV is to bust the myth, right? Where all this misconception, we break through that to be able to encourage more entrepreneurs, run with their ideas, generate the economy, and then that indeed will help you get your visa extensions or whatever, right? Ultimately, green card citizenship.
That's true. That's true.
Yep. Thank you so much, Manan.
Thank you so much, Bobby, for your time and running this channel.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, talk later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.